Welcome to LFC Transfer Hub. New Alexander Isak Liverpool verdict given as transfer saga takes twist. Might have to change. Newcastle United striker Alexander Isak has been heavily linked with a move to Liverpool throughout the summer transfer window. Former Manchester United striker Teddy Sheringham has suggested that Liverpool could claim the treble this season, provided Arne Slot's squad can secure a transfer deal for Alexander Isak. Thus far, Newcastle has maintained its resolute position that Isak remains unavailable for purchase. Nevertheless, there remains sufficient time for Eddie Howe's team to acquire several attacking players, which might shift the club's stance. Earlier during the summer window, Liverpool witnessed an initial bid turned down for Isak. Yet it would require a British record transfer fee should Newcastle open discussions for a potential departure for the Swedish international, who is presently training in isolation. Success for Isak is winning the treble for Liverpool, and I think he can do that, Sheringham told Snaber. I think he will get enough chances. He might have to change his game slightly because people play differently at Newcastle than they do when they go to Liverpool, reports Liverpool.com. He will have to play with his back to goal a little bit more rather than running in behind, but I think he can do everything as a player. The chances will come. He's proven it at this level. He's played in the Premier League. He can score goals against all the centre-halves that are out there. He will have no problem fitting into the Liverpool system for me. During the previous campaign, only Mohamed Salah netted more Premier League goals than Isak. The 25-year-old assisted Newcastle in achieving Champions League qualification and claiming their first major silverware in 7 decades. Liverpool is not only pursuing Isak, but also considering signing at least one centre-back, with Crystal Palace captain Marc Guehi and Parma prodigy Giovanni Leone on their radar. We've had discussions, and it's clear at the moment that we can't involve Isak with the group, Howe stated following Newcastle's 2-2 draw in a friendly against Espanyol last weekend. I don't know how long that will be for, but that's the latest. I'd want Alex to be playing today. I'd want him training tomorrow. We would love the player to be with us. Let me make that absolutely clear. There's no part of me that doesn't want that outcome, but I don't see the current situation changing for the Aston Villa game this weekend. Liverpool have just hinted when Alexander Isak saga could be resolved after opening transfer talks. Liverpool have opened talks with Crystal Palace for Marc Guehi and remain interested in Newcastle United star Alexander Isak. Less than 48 hours after seeing Marc Guehi hold aloft the Community Shield at Wembley, Liverpool have made their move for the England international. The Reds have opened talks with Crystal Palace and are looking to snap up the centre-back in an initial £30 million deal. Should Liverpool be successful in their pursuit of the long-time target, he will arrive for the exact same overall £35 million fee the Reds commanded when selling Jarell Quansah to Bayer Leverkusen earlier this summer. The 25-year-old is braced to become Liverpool's 9th signing of the summer and take their overall spending beyond the £300 million mark. However, they are yet to discuss personal terms with the defender, though he is understood to be keen on making the move to Anfield, with Reds bosses holding club-to-club talks with Palace first out of respect for the relationship between the two clubs, particularly the long-standing relationship between Liverpool's football leadership team and Eagles owner Steve Parish. The Reds have been in the market for a new centre-back for a number of years, only to be left disappointed in the pursuits of Levi Colwill, Lenny Yoro and Dean Huijsen. While they still wish to add a highly rated young centre-back to their ranks, as they firm up interest in Parma centre-back Giovanni Leone, Guehi's expiring contract status has presented a market opportunity that Liverpool, ever the transfer opportunists, could not pass up. Palace rejected 4 bids from Newcastle United last summer for Guehi, with the latest worth up to £65 million, while Tottenham Hotspur had a £70 million approach rejected back in January. Considering the Eagles had reportedly wanted more than £40 million to sell the centre-back this summer as he prepared to enter the final 12 months of his contract, for the Reds to negotiate a deal below such a fee is certainly something of a transfer coup. Palace had appeared to be reluctant sellers all summer long, even taking into consideration the fact that Guehi had shown no inclination of negotiating a new deal. Consequently, while Liverpool's interest in the England international had been well documented, It was also clear that Eagles would have to soften their stance and lower their demands if the Reds were to make their move this summer as opposed to moving for Guehi on a free transfer in 2026. Admittedly, the softening of such stance was made public by Palace owner Steve Parish at Wembley when celebrating his side's Community Shield win over Liverpool. Yes, of course, for players of that caliber to leave on a free, it is a problem for a football club, Parish said. There is no doubt about it, unfortunately. Joachim Anderson went last summer to Fulham, and we couldn't afford to lose both of them, Anderson and Guehi. We then had another bid in January, but that was a difficult situation as well. We will just have to see what happens. It needs a new contract or a conclusion of some kind. We will have to see. We will do whatever we can. We won't stop working. But as far as people being here or not being here, it depends. If it is the right decision for the football club and for them, there will be changes. But we have got to make smart ones. With Parish leaving the door open for a Guehi exit from Selhurst Park, it has not taken long for Liverpool to make their move. Given that Virgil van Dijk went viral for the knowing look he made to camera in the Wembley tunnel when spotting Arne Slot embracing Guehi, perhaps we should not be surprised. It certainly will not be lost on onlookers how the Reds' move has come in the aftermath of facing Crystal Palace at Wembley. Only club bosses on both sides will know how much the prospect of the current Eagles captain facing his former side in the Community Shield played with regards to the timing of these accelerated transfer talks. While Guehi's future has been a long-running transfer saga, it has proven to be a relatively tidy episode. The centre-back has captained Palace to FA Cup and Community Shield glory in recent months. After all, as well as a 12th place Premier League finish and European qualification. Should he indeed complete a switch to Liverpool, he will depart with Eagles' well wishes, especially given his touted transfer fee would be roughly double what Palace paid Chelsea for him 4 years ago as opposed to the would-be Bosman exit if he had seen out his contract. The resolution of his future then will come in stark contrast to that of fellow Reds transfer target, Alexander Isak. The Swede is currently being made to train alone at Newcastle United, having skipped their entire preseason schedule. Reports on Tuesday claimed he had told the Magpies he has no intention of playing for the club again, as he continues to hold out for a move to Liverpool. Isak reportedly told Newcastle of his desire to move on both before the end of last season and following the Magpies' final game of the season against Everton. Having not been handed a new contract earlier in the campaign despite previous promises, he had no desire to belatedly sign an extension. With Newcastle struggling to recruit attacking reinforcements so far this summer, supporters have turned on Isak for how he is handling his situation. But with Liverpool continuing to monitor developments, having not made a fresh move for the striker since their initial £110 million offer was rejected earlier this month. This is a saga that looks set to rumble on during the final weeks of the transfer window. It's understood that Reds bosses considered it futile to return with an improved offer, given the swiftness and clarity of Newcastle's rejection. Should the Magpies' stance soften, they will reassess their own position. On the other hand, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. As European football leagues kick off, clubs like Liverpool and Arsenal invest heavily, while transfer uncertainties impact team strategies and performances. When it comes to thinking about ways to improve football, there are broadly two groups of people: those who have been influenced by Arsene Wenger and those who should have been. From changing attitudes in players and ensuring an elite club stayed that while investing in infrastructure, Le Professeur showed the way. But the summer transfer deadline after leagues in Europe kicked off was a pet peeve he could do nothing about. It merits mention as another season of the top 5 leagues starts this weekend and the next, 2 days before Liverpool begin their title defense, something they have not successfully done in 41 years. Arne Slot does not know whether Alexander Isak will be added to the roster. Neither is Newcastle manager Eddie Howe aware whether the Sweden international, who had 33 goal contributions, 27 goals and 6 assists, in all club competitions, will stay. There are discussions going on all the time that I am not party to, BBC quoted Howe as saying on August 9th, 1 week before Newcastle travel to Aston Villa. Players joining or not joining after leagues begin have had a big impact on clubs. Think Wayne Rooney and Luis Suarez, both deadline day signings for Manchester United and Liverpool. And then, Think Mario Balotelli switching to AC Milan or David De Gea's deal with Real Madrid falling through at the last minute. Literally. So, it fits that clubs try and do most of the business early. Liverpool have by investing nearly €300 million on Hugo Ekitike, Germany's Player of the Year Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Frimpong and Milos Kerkez. Losing the Community Shield on penalties to Crystal Palace will hurt, but the quartet having a good outing at a sun-kissed Wembley should mitigate that. Arsenal's bid to improve on a third successive season, where they finished second, has taken them shopping as well. Mikel Arteta is banking on Victor Gyökeres to better 14 draws in the league last term. Crystal Palace were the next team with as many and they finished 12th. The 27-year-old Swede scored 54 goals in all competitions in 24-25 and has 97 goals in 102 matches for Sporting Lisbon. He is a player that, when you leave him with the space 1-against-1, he is going to destroy you, Arteta has said of Gyökeres. Arsenal have also done business in other areas of the pitch, buying Kepa Arrizabalaga, Noni Madueke, Martin Zubimendi and Christian Norgard for a total of over €200 million. As have Club World Cup champions Chelsea, who have sorted out a first team from among their raft of signings. João Pedro's shift from the beach to scoring a brace against his boyhood club in the USA is the stuff dreams are made of. Jamie Gittins, Estevao Willian, Liam Delap and 19-year-old Joral Hato are Chelsea's other major signings as they plan for Champions League after 2 seasons. The Premier League club that moved really early are Manchester City, doing most of the buying in January. After their first season without a trophy since 2016-17, City loaned Jack Grealish to Everton but signed Ryan Cherki to Johnny Reinders and Ryan Aït-Nouri to take their spending to nearly €350 million this year. Ruben Amorim's rebuild at Manchester United is on, but excitement over the arrivals of Benjamin Sesko, Brian Bumo and Mateus Cunha could be tempered by the club having offloaded only Marcus Rashford, on loan to Barcelona, so far. Luis Diaz has moved to Bayern Munich, Trent Alexander-Arnold to Real Madrid for €12 million, Borussia Dortmund bought Joe Bellingham. Atletico Madrid have made a raft of new signings, and Champions League winners Paris Saint-Germain spent €67 million of 22-year-old Ukrainian defender Ilya Zabarnyi, continuing Bournemouth's trend of selling defenders to top clubs. But with 14 of the world's 30 richest clubs in the Premier League, most of the big buys have been in England. Not everything is about money, though. Free transfers of Kevin De Bruyne, Napoli, who left City after 10 years, and Luka Modric, AC Milan, show that Serie A can still attract talent. But the story of the season could be if a 32-year-old free agent signed by Monaco can revive his career. Here's looking at you, Paul Pogba. Thanks for watching. Like and comment and subscribe.